Take thy hand off me, wench!
No, I'm not. I'm just asking for your surname.
Take thy hand off me, wench.
No, you don't.
Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we're looking at times psychics and spirit mediums were called out on TV and live radio.
Now, I'm getting the word nonce.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Number 10, Ben Zand versus Chris Riley.
That to me feels like you've got quite a heavily male family. I think you've got a lot of boys.
So that's not right.
Okay, so tell me then, siblings.
Investigative journalist Ben Zand decided to dive into the world of online psychics for this 2024 series, filming a few days in the life of social media star Chris Riley, who makes hundreds of thousands of pounds giving psychic readings to strangers.
Who has got the name Sue or Susan that's alive? Like around, maybe it could be like an aunt.
There's no Sue or Susan.
Zand goes in with the aim to debunk, suggesting that Chris is using common cold reading techniques, i.e. guesswork, to perform his readings because everything he says is so vague. When it's time for Zand himself to get a reading at the end, he points out that information about him is easily accessible online, or just plain wrong.
I don't feel like I want to carry the reading, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Chris then asked for the cameras to be turned off and chucked Zand out of his house, accusing him of lying.
So I've just been kicked out of Chris's. Yeah. That ended probably in the worst possible way. It just felt like he thought he had been rumbled.
Number 9, Sally Morgan and Deborah Hyde.
Well, I think you're right, Ruth. I think that pubs, very similar to hospitals and schools and institutions, they can hold energy.
This isn't the last time we'll be seeing Sally Morgan on this list, as she is the UK's most famous psychic after the late Derek Acorah. In this memorable moment, she was brought onto This Morning to give readings to members of the public over the phone, joined by skeptic Deborah Hyde, who was on hand to offer a more rational explanation.
It wasn't a kitchen or had some sort of sink in it, even if it wasn't a kitchen. Did it have running water in there?
Not that I'm aware of. It was empty before we moved in.
Sally asks the woman on the phone whether the bedroom she now occupies in her pub used to have a sink in it, to which she says no. Eamon Holmes quizzes her about the sink, and she pivots to an explanation that's borderline nonsense.
So your
point being what?
Well, the thing is that I feel that there is an energy in there, and the energy is from, it's like a residue of energy in there from someone else that lived there, who possibly passed in that room.
Deborah finishes by pointing out the obvious. Melissa on the phone is experiencing sleep paralysis.
Yes.
Melissa, you're not potty. Lots of people have had these experiences, including me. It's called sleep paralysis. It's a harmless sleep blip.
Number 8, George.
She's given me the name of George.
And I got the name George.
Was it George?
It was George, yeah.
The only trouble is that George is part of a made-up story that I planted on the Chocolate Factory website a week ago.
Fans of the paranormal will already be familiar with Kieran O'Keefe as Most Haunted's debunker-in-chief. He was enlisted by another well-known supernatural broadcaster, Danny Robbins, today best known for Uncanny, to investigate some spirit mediums.
George, did the horses hurt your legs, yes or no?
Back in 2007, Robbins wanted to test the skills of a handful of psychics by taking them around an old building. The trick was that he'd planted some incorrect information on the building's websites and even made up a villainous factory owner.
Do you know the initials of his second name? Would it be?
Yeah.
Would it Ball?
It was.
That's what I got.
Lo and behold, all of the psychics began to commune with Robbins' imaginary ghost, proving that they'd all done some cursory research and had a look at the internet to prep beforehand.
I have to tell you, that all came from a story that I made up.
Oh, did it?
With the help of a parapsychologist. And we put that up on the website.
Congratulations.
Number 7, Gordon Smith versus Chris Finch.
You gave yourself the name Derek O'Connor because O'Connor sounds like you're conning them.
And so does Derek to me, but maybe that's another story.
Well, that's a whole other story.
Like Kieran O'Keefe, Chris Finch is another leading parapsychologist who's made a name for himself debunking paranormal grifters. In this old edition of This Morning, he was brought on alongside Gordon Smith, the so-called psychic barber, to show that Smith is using standard cold reading techniques.
Obviously, John's a very common name.
Yeah.
Very few people wouldn't know a John. The 26th is a Saturday, a couple of weeks ahead. Quite likely that there'd be something, but it was a guess. I mean, it was a guess.
Finch also employs cold reading, with the difference being he's upfront about it and explains there's nothing supernatural going on. Fern Britton then goes through Gordon Smith's answers one by one and points out how everything he said is very vague and widely applicable to most people.
See, now this is interesting because I can see those are generalised things, and people would say, yes, I'm bubbly at a party, yes, I'm rather, you know.
Credit goes to Finch for tirelessly demonstrating the techniques mediums use in their readings.
I've got to talk about a new house. Let's talk about a new house. Or somebody moved to a new house.
Number 6, Maureen Flynn is too vague.
He would have been quite elderly when he passed, and he passed with a heart condition.
Over in the US, James Randi was a professional magician who, like many magicians, had an interest in debunking the claims of psychics and spirit mediums. He was on this side of the pond in 1991, though, to front an ITV program where he investigated in front of an audience.
Who's Jimmy? Do you know who Jimmy is?
Can't
Or
picture a Jimmy.
James? James?
He brought on psychics, let them do their thing, and then ruthlessly took them down afterwards by grilling the audience about just how specific the questions were. Flynn made wild, vague guesses that the audience didn't buy, with one even calling her out.
Does that make sense to you?
We're on a programme and everybody wants the truth, so you've got to go a little further.
I'm terribly sorry.
Maybe the James she was trying to channel was James Randi himself, who reappeared to accuse her of blindly guessing.
Maureen's statement seemed to be more general than each of you thought before we took the vote. Make of that what you will.
Number 5, Jayne Wallace gets muddled.
It almost feels this feeling of, I'm going to start to look at my future, I'm going to start to build on my family.
She's widely known as a psychic to the stars, the clairvoyant used specifically by Kim Kardashian. So you'd think she'd be good at knowing who various celebrities are, but that's not the case. During an appearance on This Morning, Wallace was quizzed about her predictions for the future, studying various objects.
An amazing friend, she's very loyal, and I feel with her very much what you see is what you get.
What you see is what you get,
No
loyal.
warts and all.
Right.
She's, as you see her,
So
that's how
so
she is.
career.
In hindsight, we know she was wrong by predicting that Holly Willoughby would be pregnant with a girl by early 2013. Her third child was actually a boy, born in September 2014.
It's a man.
He is a woman. Oh, I don't mean that rudely.
It's a man.
Are you
In you
gentle
come.
and sensitive?
Welcome.
But a more obvious blunder was her not knowing who Lionel Blair was, guessing that his watch belonged to a female psychologist.
But that was a major miss, I have to say.
major miss.
Yeah, couldn't
I'm
have
sorry.
been further wrong there.
Number 4, Sally Cudmore's missing people.
This lady, she's very confused, OK? I feel like she would remember things that happened... Do you know, I don't know if she remembers things that happened years ago, but not what happened yesterday.
Former nurse Sally Cudmore tried her hand at mediumship in the late 2010s, until she ended up getting hospitalized due to stress, as she claims, after getting chucked out of Katie Price's house following a reading gone wrong. But the previous year, she rocked up onto Loose Women to show her supernatural gifts to the panel, predicting the future for Colleen Nolan and Stacey Solomon.
And people watching this are going to go, well, OK, if you have this amazing power, if I said to you, there is this missing person, you know, a very famous case.
OK.
Why can't you find that person? Or why can't you...
However, Jane Moore wasn't having it. She wanted to know why Sally was so rubbish at helping the police find missing people, and wasn't satisfied with the answers she got. Cudmore also told Colleen Nolan that she had a guardian angel and incorrectly guessed the gender of Prince William's third child.
It doesn't work like that. I can't choose what I'm being given. I can only give what I'm being given.
Number 3, Joe Power versus Derren Brown.
Is the Jimmy or James connected?
No.
She's saying yes on grandfather's side?
No.
Okay, maybe have a think about it.
In this program, Derren Brown investigated Liverpudlian psychic Joe Power to expose his tricks. He used his abilities as a non-paranormal mentalist to prove just how much information you can get by cold reading, interviewing Claire Cooper off of Hollyoaks with Power observing.
Can you tell me your thoughts on that? We've been asking people afterwards what.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
Was it?
Yeah, really impressed.
Power, meanwhile, asked Cooper whether she drove a Mini, only for the crew to reveal that Power had seen her driving in it earlier.
So this is the sitter doing all the work. So he came out and said, Jean, oh, and now I've worked it out. You mean Joan, who's alive over there.
Brown and a psychologist then sit through one of Power's shows and meticulously explain how he does it.
I told you I had been in that house.
No, you told me you had not been in this house. Yeah. So you've been in, you've met these people.
I have briefly met them. Yes, I have.
Thank you. But don't you think that's absolutely terrible?
Power later complained about the show, saying it was edited to make him look aggressive and accusing Brown of stitching him up. His career as a medium never really recovered.
Joe, I'm going to be honest with you. It seems like if you do a bad reading, you blame everybody else other than yourself.
Number 2, Psychic Sally versus Richard Bacon.
What it is, Crystal, I certainly didn't research him. What I want to say to you, I've got better things to do with my day.
She's back. Another Psychic Sally reading gone awry. This time, she was being interviewed by Richard Bacon. He got his mum on the phone and they both chatted to Sally, all as a test to see how much she could get right. It's a lot harder to cold read somebody over the phone after all.
August the 3rd, does that have a meaning? Is that connected to that grandmother? I mean, it's a big thing, a big ask, Christine, because you haven't even been thinking of that.
No, August the 3rd doesn't ring a bell at all.
Sally insists that she hasn't researched Bacon or his family ahead of time, though he makes it clear that he doesn't believe her because she knows his mother's name. Then again, she goes on to get absolutely everything wrong, so she probably didn't bother to Google him.
You've had a try, and that's fair enough.
Yeah,
but there is no boy in our family that died young, and August the 3rd means nothing to my mother.
She also suggests that maybe they're wrong about their own family and should do some more research to prove her right.
And who is, not being funny, who is James on that side as well?
James?
Yeah, or someone I don't, might have been known as Jim or Jimmy, I don't know.
No.
Because I get that as well.
Number 1, Kreed Kafer.
Francis!
Of course, the most infamous psychic incident was when the late Derek Acorah was tricked into outing himself as a fraud during an episode of Most Haunted. The production crew had long suspected he was being fed information, so they caught him out by planting 2 fake names, Kreed Kafer and Rick Edels, anagrams of Derek Faker and Derek Lies.
Kreed!
He was subsequently sacked from Most Haunted, with the crew and Yvette Fielding now convinced that he was a fraud. His career continued though, with frequent live tours and media appearances.
Derek? Carl, come forward, Derek.
He even at one point said he'd been communing with the ghost of Madeleine McCann, and was then forced to apologize to her parents. Is your name Jimmy or James? If so, get in touch in the comments because we think there are some spirit mediums who want to talk to you.
There's times when people have come to me and asked for advice and I haven't got very much for them, and that's just how it works.